Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again for our guided meditation and Dharma talk, our bi-weekly presentation of exploring the Dharma and exploring yourself and making that mindful connection to who we truly are in our inner being and how we can walk that joyful path that we all do seek. So today is January 9th, 2023. Our first full week has been completed, huh? Right, first full week of January. How wonderful that is. It's wonderful news. Personal question. How many of you all have kept up with your New Year's resolutions already? I personally call them intentions because I do intend to follow through on them, and it offers a little bit more kindness instead of a goal, right? Or a resolution. Sounds so formal. So I just use intention, allowing myself that, I may forget something, here or there. But overall, I will be mindfully aware and accomplish what I set out to do. But tonight's topic is shedding your armor to walk joyfully. And what does that mean? Very often we build ourselves up or protect ourselves, right? So we don't have to face some of the difficulties in life or some hard challenges that we will inevitably encounter in our daily actions, right? So as we have our general routine, right? We're going to start off with our nice guided meditation, which will be noticing what brings us joy, which is certainly related to shedding our armor, right? So we can walk joyfully. So go ahead and allow yourself, get into that nice comfortable position, whatever seated position, or perhaps you're standing if you choose, or maybe you're lying on your back, whatever works best for you. You may close your eyes or keep them open with a soft focus, gently, just a little bit, just gently in front of you, if you choose to. Go ahead, take a nice inhalation through your nose. So breathe in. Pause and slowly exhale. Very nice. And at this time, you're also invited to allow that half smile to rest on your face as well. Allow your spine to lift and your shoulders to soften. And soften your belly as you sit there and continue settling in. Breathe in. Pause. Slowly exhale. Just allow any tensions or tightness just ease away, just like a cloud floating along a gentle breeze in the sky. And we'll meditate tonight on noticing what brings us joy. And one of the most pleasant ways to cultivate mindfulness is to notice those things that bring you joy. And so by taking the time to appreciate these moments, You're training your mind to recognize them in the future. Imagine that we will be taking a short walk together, and we'll notice along the way what makes us happy, what brings us joy. Perhaps it may be a walk in the park, a trail, or maybe even around your block in the neighborhood that you live in. You don't need to be anywhere special. Just a place that you find joy and happiness in. And go ahead and allow yourself to just take a few more deep breaths on your own, with your own rhythm. And while you take those breaths, notice the feeling of breathing in through your nostrils. Grounding yourself in the sensations that you feel on the ground as you sit there. Noticing the weight of your body as you sit on the floor or lay on the floor. Let's begin our imaginary walk by just walking at a nice, normal pace. Nice and leisurely. You don't have anywhere to be. And while walking about, look for something you like. You may not like everything you see or experience, but these are likely sights and feelings and sounds that you will find, that you will like. It could be as simple as a color or a shape. Doesn't even have to be the item itself. Maybe it's a particular color. Or maybe it is a particular shape without that color. It's your imagination. It's what you like, no one else. This is your world. And when you notice something that you do like, say to yourself, I like that tree, or I like that shade of blue, or I like the sounds of those dogs barking or those birds singing. Say that to yourself. I like whatever that is. And you say this silently to yourself in your head whenever you notice something you enjoy along this walk in your world. You can say it out loud if you like. It's your world. Remember, there's no right or wrong. When your mind wanders or you find yourself being judgmental, come back to that present moment, grounding yourself on the feeling of the feet on your ground as you walk. And then open back up to any of those experiences that you are enjoying. And after several moments have passed on this walk of yours, you can bring that back into your life, into your day, knowing that you can incorporate this practice into your daily life, noticing what you like. A shape, a color, a sound, even a particular smell. But you allow yourself to recognize that and make that note. So whenever you notice something that you enjoy, however subtle it is, you're making that mental note. Go ahead and begin to open your eyes slowly. Maybe reorientate yourself before standing. Maybe adjusting your back or so, or letting your legs stretch out. When we take time to notice what we like, what brings us joy, we're able to open ourselves up a lot more truthfully with ourselves and with others. And so that's why tonight's talk is on shedding that armor that some of us choose to carry, right? So we can walk joyfully through our day. And we can experience the wonder and the amazement and the connectivity that we can make, not with just ourselves, but with others. So think about if you've ever imagined yourself as that knight in shining armor, maybe coming to the rescue of someone, a village or something like that. Or even just riding around on your horse. Maybe riding through the countryside in that armor. And maybe you have thought about that, maybe not. Maybe this is your first time thinking of that. But think about an entire process that is undertaken to actually don and wear that armor on a daily basis. It's very hard. From what I understand, it actually took like 2 people to put that on. I forget about if they had to ride a horse. I think they had to be lifted up. So that's a lot of work on a daily basis. Yeah, and if they had to get off that horse, then what? It's pretty hard work. A lot of movement to just ride a horse, if that was really what it took. But think about what was the purpose of that armor, right? It did have a purpose, right? To protect someone, right? But when they wore it, again, think about how hard it would be to just maneuver around, even for the simple tasks. It's like sitting or standing or walking. Now, I don't know personally what that experience consisted of. So my only comparison was when I was in the Marine Corps and we had to wear our Kevlar helmets and our Kevlar flak jackets, our body armor. Yeah, it looks like fun at first, right? They show you that on the recruiting posters. But I promise you, you start walking around, for several miles, or you always have to wear it. Your perspective changes pretty quickly. Right? It certainly does. And that was certainly without all of the other gear that I would have to carry. I was in communications, so I would have to carry like a radio or telephones, believe it or not, stuff like that. So all that stuff added up. Your backpack, sleeping bags, stuff like that. All that stuff added up. So it was hard work. It was hard work just to get from point A to point B. But many of us don't wear armor each day like that, right? Truth be told, right? We typically don't. But many of us do wear armor in a different sense. And most of us put that armor on without even realizing that we do. And the armor that we put on, we wear it to protect ourselves from hurt, from disappointment, from abandonment maybe, and the physical pain that results from this emotional pain. So those are the results of that armor that many of us do put on. But what does that armor look like, right? It's certainly not, a Kevlar vest or, steel plating. So what does our armor look like in modern times, right? It could be anger. Anger is armor, right? We are not allowing ourselves to feel a moment for exactly what it is. We're angry because something did not perhaps go our way. We had a different expectation. So maybe we act out in anger so we don't have to show our hurt towards someone else, how we are truly feeling. Because anger can be just another form of disappointment or sadness. Jealousy, right? Could be another type of armor that someone would don. Right? Perhaps they feel, or maybe you've even felt, I know I have when I was younger, I would feel jealous. Somebody had something that I didn't. I felt left out, not included. So jealousy could be an armor. Not allowing ourselves to truly reflect upon what we are feeling. Just that superficial emotional expression. Well, they have something, why can't I? Another type of armor could be appeasement or kind of a false love in some sense. If I don't do this for this person, they won't love me. I don't want to do this, but I will. It hurts me to do this, but I'll do it because I love someone. But that's appeasement. That's not truly love. Right? That's like a false love or pseudo-love or fear of abandonment. Right? Feel of a loss. Feel of losing someone. So that's an armor too. And there are a number of distractions that can be armor as well, right? Social media, exercise, overeating, reading too much, right? Anything that we can use as an escapism to not allow us to experience a difficult time or even boredom, right? How often have you just picked up your phone or a device or something like that and just scrolled through, your social media just to pass the time away, right? Because you don't know what to do otherwise. You're protecting yourself from another type of experience. What to do? I don't know. How do I handle myself? Right? So that can be an armor as well. So we're afraid of painful feelings. And so we suit up, right, to avoid them. And when we suit up in that sense, we're not able to walk joyfully on this earth. We may have that smiley face, right? We may have that boisterous laugh or that gregarious personality, but you're suited up, protecting yourself from hurt, disappointment, abandonment. So, the important question to ask ourselves is, how do we shed that armor so that we can be lighter, so that we can walk this earth with joyfulness? One of the first things that we can do is truly by viewing every experience as a precious gift in and of itself. And not only the pleasant ones, right, but the hard ones, the painful ones. We may not think of them as gifts, but they can be if we look at them with a proper or right mindfulness or right thought. Even the most challenging. Because sometimes, truthfully, the ones that we think are positive experiences are very detrimental. And can often cause the most harm. So we have to view them as gifts, but we have to view them with right mindfulness, right thought. So when we not only view positivity as a gift, we are by default avoiding the first noble truth. Right? That suffering exists. Right? Again, that's not right thought. We're trying to hide those hard feelings, try to avoid them. Looking at Instagram, reading your Facebook, maybe going out for too much of a run, right? A jog. Trying to avoid them, trying to exhaust your body. Right? But when we mindfully reflect on right thought, we see it encompasses that turning away from those cravings and desires, meaning that we do try to mitigate those feelings, those cravings and desires, because that leads to suffering. And then we cannot and should not only be seeking out the positive. We also need to welcome those hardships, those challenging times, the times where, man, am I really going to make it? Those are the times that we do need to truly accept as a gift. It's very often that's when we learn about ourselves. We can bring that awareness. And when we do welcome in the hardships, we develop resiliency within. We understand what we are truly capable of, how we can handle a situation skillfully and mindfully. We develop empathy and compassion for others and for ourselves. If we don't have a grasp on what pain is, or what suffering is, or what hardship is, it can be hard to empathize to some degree. We can feel compassion towards someone, right? In a experiencing a very difficult time, we certainly can. But sometimes it's hard to have full empathy without understanding what a hardship is. And when we have those developed empathy and compassion and resiliency, we develop our own well-being. We make ourselves more balanced and harmonious. And when we have that well-being, we are able to shed that armor. We can remove that excess weight that doesn't allow us to skillfully or mindfully maneuver around the experiences that we will face. So, opening up, allowing yourself to be vulnerable to those new experiences. It's important to help shed that armor as well. So our next Dharma talk is on the 23rd, so in 2 weeks, Monday evening from 6 to 6:30, just as we are here this evening. Don't forget our weekly sanghas as well. So we have our healing sanghas, our veteran sanghas, new beginning sanghas, and rainbow sanghas, and teen sangha, all throughout the week. All freely offered for the support that maybe you're looking for. Knowing that there are others, and then that the sanghas are strength, right? They're a community of others. And that's where we can develop our strength. And so you are certainly welcome to register freely for any one of them and sit with us. And there's a link to our Skype room, and come in and sit with us and talk or don't talk. Learn, but know that you're not alone. And if you do find our bi-weekly talks and our other resources, our Dharma resources, useful, go ahead and feel free to like and subscribe so we can continue this noble mission of helping others. And you can too. And with that, my friends, I wish you all a wonderful night and an evening of peace, ease, and well-being.